Welcome to the Power Half Hour. Every single week, we interview a top producing agent, team leader in North America. And this week, we have a very special guest, the host of Coffee Talk. Mr. Joe Sinnona has been in real estate 35 years. He's been a director of the New York Realtor board and also the vice president of the board of Long Island. Wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience, and a professional speaker for Sinnona seminars. Mr. Joe, welcome.
I never imagined that my bio would be so botched up like that. Thank you, John. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you again. You know, we got a chance to really hang out last week, although it was only about 2 to 3 hours, but it was the time of my life in Long Island, New York, New York.
New York,
So,
New York.
yeah,
Do we really speak like that? Do we really like that?
you do. Yeah, you do.
Talk like that? Talk.
Yeah,
um,
you do.
I had a phenomenal time with you at Lead to List for Sonona Speak seminars. I thought you were pure fire. And they're still talking about you to today. In fact, I got a video from one of the speakers, and you are all out of it. You're edited out, right out of it. And I'm like, why? I'm like, this is not about you. This is about everybody. This is about. So we're gonna fix that soon. So next week we'll have the
Good.
content ready and up for you. Thank you for inviting me here today.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming. Really, last year when we met, really, I'm sorry, I had no idea who you are. And as I got to know you, as I got to really, look at your bio, what a phenomenal career already. And you are still out there speaking, inspiring others. First of all, thank you. And second of all, why?
Because I feel that we are not finished. I'm not finished with
Mm.
my mission, and that is, my business partner always talks about reducing the failure rate in real estate, the failure rate of what NAR published years ago, and I believe at that point it was like 80% of all new agents fail in their first year. And I was just astounded by that statistic. Now it's 90%, almost 97%, I heard. I was like, what?
First year?
In the first year. And
Wait,
I'm
hang
like,
on, Joe. What does
yeah,
that mean? Like in the first year, let's say 100 come in, 97 leave. In the first year, guys, hear this, 97% failure rate in the first year.
now
So,
that's a
what do we do about
statistic that NAR puts out.
that?
So
Okay.
I don't know if there's a margin for error there, but when I heard that earlier in my career, I said, I got to do something. And that's actually what prompted me to be a speaker. I said, I want to do something that will inspire new agents to stay in the business. And I started to teach. I started to teach
Mm.
the pre-licensing class. I said, if
Ah,
anybody can do it, it's me. I can do it my way, right? Everybody thinks they have the secret sauce. And I've been teaching now for 22 and a half years, and I've been in the business 35 years. Uh,
wow. So
and I have
17
changed
years
lives.
in, you started teaching.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And these are really good classes. They're not just about contracts, not just about getting you out of a real estate jail. These, from what I attended, was a phenomenal panel of how to take more listings, how to service clients. So, in your opinion, Joe, what do you think is the difference between one that is the 97% and one agent that is wants to belong to the 3% that actually goes on to the second year?
Good
What's the
question.
difference?
I believe that certain agents have figured it out. Certain
Mm,
agents have not figured it out. And I think the ones that have not figured it out are the ones that don't have a clear cut, precise mindset of what they really want. And I believe that there are certain agents that have a good work ethic, and there are certain agents that don't want to adapt to a good work ethic. And so I had to go on this, journey if you will, about 10 years ago and say, okay, what am I going to speak on? Because everyone was saying, well, what are you going to speak on when you get on stage? I said, well, if I want to start somewhere, I better start on with mindset approaches
Mm.
toward improving your business, and then figure out from a psychological perspective, do you really want to be in this business? There are people that, oh, I want to be in real estate. I want to sell houses from a limousine. I want to be that $1 million listing kind of
Mm.
guy, you know? But in truth is, if you don't have that mindset approach, if you're not working beast mode mentality, you're not working the real estate business at all. You're
Mm.
just fooling yourself, and you're fooling others in the path. Mainly your brokers, your managers, people that are mentoring you, and then you've invested all this time and all this energy from a mentor's point of view or a broker's point of view into that person that doesn't really want it as bad as you thought they did.
Hmm. So it's about the will. Now, can you, in your opinion, can you teach the will or have them self-discover their will, or do we have to find people that have the will?
I think a little bit of both. I think that
Okay.
if you're not willing to meet someone halfway on your journey, I can only show you as much as I can, only if I have someone who's cooperative, someone who wants to do the work. So all my students that I've ever taught, I always say to them, meet me halfway. At least trust me a little bit. And it's a lot about trust too, because you're putting yourself in the hands of a mentor who has this experience, and yet you don't trust them because you
Mm.
don't trust yourself.
So last week we had a guest on and he talked about coachability, like being coachable. Is that related to someone trusting you as well? It's just they have no trust in the coach. Or is
Yes.
it just a misalignment between the coachee and the coach, do you think, when there's
I
no
think people
coachability?
don't understand the word or the definition of being a coach. I think a lot of agents see that as they don't see the value in coaching. All they see is for themselves. They see this person who wants to help them, and yet they don't want to trust that person, with their ways. I can change somebody's ways of doing things by planting some seeds of
Mm.
this is going to get you there, and if
Okay.
you do this, this is going to get you there. But if you don't trust me, you're not going to do any of that.
Ah, that's true. So, really being coachable is finding a coach that you can actually trust to listen to the advice from, and then you'll be coachable and taking the action. So, for people who are listening to this right now, and they belong to the 3%, they want to get better, they have the will. Joe, what is your advice for them this year, 2024, step by step to succeed?
Keep pushing forward. Keep
Keep pushing
aligning
forward.
yourself with, the one percenters that are in the room. For me, I had to align myself with people who were not going to bring me down. And what I mean by that is I don't want your misery to love my company. Otherwise, we're going to do wonders for one another and bring each other down. I think what's so important now more than ever is to infuse professional development into
Mm.
your mindset, into your work. Anything that is, like today, I was in your role play room. Why was a guy like me in your role play room? You know why? Because I learned something different about who
Mm.
I am and you talked about mindset approaches. And these are concepts that, in 2024, they're not new concepts. But what happened is, and DK, your colleague and our colleague in the business said, people have changed since COVID. Things have
Mm.
gotten so that either your mental capability is that of a depressed person or one of anxious. Right? There's people that are
Mm.
anxious and there's people that are depressed, but that should be no excuse for doing the work and getting out of the funk, you know?
Hmm.
So I tend to, to do more professional development in order to help me, my business, my team, just everything about what I do, including the instructing.
That's awesome. So really, it's about professional development every step of the way. Get skilled and be knowledgeable. Become the best realtor that you can be, and work on that being the best and push forward every single day is what I'm hearing from you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so never give up, keep pushing forward, and work on your skills on a daily basis. Now, let's go the other side of the token. What do you think will have agents become the 97%?
I think if they allow, if you don't mind me saying, the bitch voice to take over in their head. And, every day we wake up either with a great spirit or maybe a greater depression. Or,
Mm.
I always love that movie Shawshank Redemption, Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying. And
Oh,
there are people
wow.
that get up with a dying attitude. So I think that dying attitude lends itself to a dying spirit, a dying
Oh.
motivation. And
Hmm.
it doesn't give me that oomph to go forward to be the best I can. What it does is it puts me further into this little I cannot do attitude. And then,
Hmm.
I can't be like John Sy and Joe Sinnona. I can never be that person on stage that gives that kind of advice. I can never be in the top 1%. And we talk to ourselves and we
Right.
talk ourselves out of things. We talk ourselves out of cold calling. We talk ourselves out of prospecting. We talk ourselves out of doing our business, out of doing our professional development. I can't be a buyer's agent. I can never have a buyer's contract. Oh, what if the seller says something? That's the bitch voice. Because you know what? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It's all in your head.
How do you get rid of the bitch voice?
Mainly sedation. I think you need a couple of pills. No, I think what you got to do is you have to, like I said, here, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. You work out every day, almost
Yeah,
at 4 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around that time. Okay.
around there, yeah.
Okay. So by the time I wake up, which is probably now around 6-ish, right? And that's probably killing your day already. But around 6-ish, I look at my Instagram and I see the first person that's John Sy, and he has a song that's while he's working out from the Karate Kid, right?
That's
Called
right.
"You're the Best," right?
You're the
Around,
best.
right? You're the best around. I can't tell you how much that has motivated
Mm.
me to be the best person, the best version of myself. And every day that I wake up and I listen to that, or I see your story, and that's the song, and I'm like, that's why I played it for you last week because I
Thank
said,
you.
you know what, John, you're the best, and I'm learning from the best here. So I'm not trying to just give you kudos, and be a brown nose or anything, but no, I want to align myself with people that are going to motivate me, read books that motivate me. I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go for the day.
This is awesome. I love it because proximity is power.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
from the start of this call, you've been talking about aligning yourself with people that are doing a lot higher level stuff than you are, or simply on the same playing level. Now I do want to transition to this because, Joe, you have almost 1,000 people in your organization at EXP. Congratulations, first of
Thank you.
all.
Thank you.
Uh, and you did it in less than 4 years,
This is my fifth year coming
fifth
up in
year.
April. Yeah.
Okay. And how do we become more attractive? Either, we talking about this like aligning yourself with people. How do you become more attractive to agents? Because we have the capacity to do so, or attract clients. How do we become more attractive?
Good question. First, with agents, you have to attract. There is
Mm.
no such word in my language, in my dictionary anymore. It used to be. I used to say the word recruit, and
Mm-hmm.
then I heard from one of my upline partners, "Don't ever say the word recruit, Joe. It sounds so distasteful. It sounds like you're just trying to stack the numbers. You're just trying to build something,
Mm,
and if you build on sand, guess what's going to happen? It's going to just fall apart. But if you build with a nice rooted foundation and you change the verbiage of how you speak to people, that's going to
mm-hmm.
attract people to you. And they're going to wonder, how can I be like Joe Sinnona? How can I be like John Sy? So that was one of the things that I had to learn again in this 4.5 year period, that my words were killing me and killing the
Mm,
spirit around me, and the attraction wasn't there. I also aligned myself with a good partner, and I have to give him kudos because he teaches me every day that,
wow.
you know what, don't let the negative into your world. And then that will further give people the inspiration that they need in order to be attracted to you.
Mm.
With clients, it's all about the soft sell. You know, I read a book when I first joined real estate called Act Like a Lamb, Sell Like a Lion by Tom
Ooh.
Humpkins. And yeah, that was a very good book. It still continues to be an excellent bestseller today because we don't soft sell anymore. We hard
Mm,
sell people. And if we're going to build up a nice clientele, we have to learn how to speak, again, changing the verbiage to speak to our clients the way we want to be spoken to. I don't want to be hard sold. When I go into,
not at
let's
all.
say, a car dealership or even any one of these shows, the guy comes right at me and says, "Hey, how's it going? Come over here. I want to sell you something. I want to talk to you about." That's hard sell.
Mm,
And I think that acting like a lamb and selling like a lion is the way I want to, continue on with my career in that soft sell atmosphere. And that's how I attract both agents and I attract sellers and buyers that way as well.
acting like a lamb. Okay. So then if you that's like an oxymoron, like acting like a lamb and sell like a lion. Then if you act like a lamb, how do you sell like a lion?
Well, there's a way to gently approach somebody and to talk to them and have a nice conversation with them. And then as you're doing, you are actually selling them. You're actually
Mm,
selling the product, a home. You're actually doing things that a professional would do and stand out as a professional. So
mm.
when I sell like a lion, I'm selling the volume of my work.
Ah,
I'm selling on
okay.
volume. I'm not necessarily chasing the money, or I'm not, going after this big ticketed, commission or fee. See? So I changed the word commission to a fee because I'm
Mm-hmm.
providing a service and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not running after the money. I'm not saying, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to make $3 million on this deal." No, I just keep going and I got to work consciously, unconscious.
Consciously unconscious.
Yeah, I know. I
I
contradicted
like that.
myself.
Well, it's I think it's called being unconsciously competent
Correct. And when
because
you're
you
working
are.
that way, it goes away. Like everything else, I'm not thinking about anything else, right?
That's right. That's right. So it comes back to professional development, guys. Being able to sell like a lion, giving the information, having the client become comfortable because you've given them so much value, so much education, so much valid and important information that they come to you. That's selling like a lion and acting like a lamb. So I like that. And Joe, now that you're 35 years in the business, and we know that you want to contribute, you have 1,000 people in your organization. What's next for you?
What's next for me is that I don't want to do brand new transactions anymore. I want to live off referral business. I've built enough of a referral business, over 3,000 clients now in the 35 years. Um, I'm serving. second generation, third generation
Wow.
families. Yeah, which is
That's how
awesome.
long it's been.
Yeah, yes, it has. But
I
it's
gotta share this. I
well,
gotta share this, Joe, because when you got into real estate in 1989, guys, I was 9 years old, and that was my first time in New York. I just want to put that in. And Joe's
I really
exactly 10
like
years
that one.
older.
I was 19 years old when you were 9 years
Wow.
old. So
That's
that's
right.
crazy, right? So I feel that at this stage of the real estate business, I'm more of an instructor. I'm more of a mentor, a
Mm,
teacher, a friend to agents that want or are starting to their career. And my
awesome.
advice for those agents is that if I started that young, or you could start midstream or midpoint, there is room there to build a business and retire from that business. Some
Mm,
people think that they're going to be 80 years old and be carried out of the real estate business. I don't want to be 80 years old. I want to transition into more speaking time. I want to transition into coming back to this desk and working with the referral business and being just the general manager of my organization while
love it.
someone else is the team leader, because I
Mm,
do have a team. And, let's put it this way: you're not going to be a team leader for forever. You want to go on to, maybe I'll write a book, maybe I'll sing a song, maybe I'll spend more time with the family, which I've started to do, just to, transition a little bit. You can't transition from this level all the way to this level in one moment, in one day. It's got to be a gradual transition, so that mentally you're not saying the word retire, because I'm not
mm.
retiring. I'm transitioning to
Transitioning to the
other
next stage.
levels.
Yeah, that's right.
I just
So
turned 55 years old. I'm not going anywhere yet.
happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So transitioning from solo agent to a team leader, and now you're actually transitioning out of the team leader, becoming the CEO of your team, and
Yeah.
now becoming the general manager of, the organization. What skills do you need to become that, to be able to get to where you are?
I think you have to stop being a control freak. I've learned over
Ooh.
the last 5 years that you got to stop putting your hands on something or someone for that
Mm,
matter, and just slowly take your hand out of the equation and just say, okay, now I'm going to be this trusted advisor to the team leader, whoever that may be. I don't know yet. I don't have, yeah, I have the plan, but I don't have the person, because the people that I'm thinking are lacking the skills, to be team leaders. So I don't want to just necessarily give this to somebody who's going to drive the car off the course of the road. I have to just at least be the wise counselor and say, hey, this is what I did, this is what I've been doing. Put a little of your flavor in there, put a little of my legacy in there, and you'll be fine with it.
letting go is the first thing, okay? Like take your hands off of things first and foremost. But how do you attract the perfect team leader? How do you attract that perfect agent avatar?
I'm in that phase right now, and I have to tell you that it's quite scary, the
Hmm.
amount of leaders we don't have. It's
Tell me
quite
more about that. What do you mean?
well, because of the fact that we're dealing with generational thinking.
Hmm.
I don't have someone in any generation that I'm thinking about who is capable, or they all want, but they're not capable of leading the charge the way,
Hmm.
let's say, I would. And they don't demonstrate any type or any form of leadership just yet. So I have to be patient, and this will be probably a good, within a 5 year period. I don't want to do this while I'm 60, 70, 80 years old. I'm not doing that. I've already determined in my mindset that I cannot be a team leader and not have this other vision over here that I have of myself at this age be distorted because I simply didn't make a plan here on this side. So right
Mm,
now, I've made the plan. I'm looking for the team leader, and I'm scouting the talent that emulates at least what a team leader should be, and that is someone who grows with the team and allows
mm,
the team to grow without micromanaging it.
that's true, guys. Letting go, finding the right leader for your organization, and it's hard to come by. What do you say? What would you say is the one quality that you look for in a leader?
Somebody who is not going to allow their power to get to their head where they forget the teammates that they are overseeing. It's not all about the team leader. It's about growing. My father used to have an expression at the dinner table that I took into business with me. He used to say, "You see this table? We all eat from the same table." And if you
Mm,
had that philosophy that, that you could grow this table and everybody makes money together and everybody wins together,
mm,
wouldn't that be such a great ideal place where you don't have to take the scraps and eat the scraps or the
that's
crumbs,
right.
We had a dog, and the only thing that my father would say is that we have one dog, and that's under this table. There's nobody else under this table but us. We're going to eat together, and we're going to eat as a
Mm,
family. We're going to eat as friends, and we're going to make sure that everybody's happy here. And if anybody isn't happy
mm,
here, I want to know about it. I want to know that, maybe we can fix some things. I said in my keynote last week, I can't fix stupid, and I'm all stocked up on crazy. So at this stage in the game, at this stage in my career, I've learned to let go of stupid, and I've learned to stay away from crazy, because again, you can't fix either one of them because it's just
no.
impossible.
I love it. I love it. So really, building a team is like, guys, eating at a dining table, and all your family members are eating together. Nobody's eating scraps. Everybody's eating together. Everybody grows together. The only one that's eating scraps is the dog underneath the table, guys, and you are not
And even the dog eats better than us. Yeah.
that.
Right? but
In
but
other
but
words,
when I first met you, right? And I'll say something personal if I may. When I
thank
first
you.
met you and DK, I saw two people that could really change my way of thinking, right? And I'm not saying this to butter you up because we're friends, but you know, I saw two people that changed my way of thinking and had a different work ethic. And I said to myself, if I'm going to create this vision for myself going out, of the transactional business and look to, just speak in my circles, then I have to make sure that I adopt some of their ways, some of their work ethic. Because sometimes, as we get older in this business, our work ethic is not the same work ethic as it was day one. I mean, I'm not as motivated. I'll be honest with everybody. I keep it real. I'm not as motivated to knock on doors or cold call or prospect the way I did when I was 19. When I was 19, I was like Rocky, I was hungry. I had this cast iron jaw, and I would get in the ring with just about anybody. And as Mickey said to Rocky in Rocky 3, but then one time in your life, that one day in your life, you become civilized.
Hmm.
He goes, and you stop getting hungry and you stop, putting things as important on the table anymore. Now, I'm not saying that I'm fizzling out, but when I meet guys like you and DK and everyone else around me, even in our organization, I say to myself, wow. You just gave me like the charge. You're like the Energizer bunnies, and you made it like a charge of electricity through me that I'm remotivated. I'm back to that
Hmm.
19-year-old kid again that's hungry, and I'm doing things like as if I have this unparalleled energy that I can handle 60,000 things at one time, and I'm 55, and then Then I look at this 20-something-year-old who has no energy, who has no life in him. I go, let me check your heart to see if there's is a life breathing in you because you're dead or you're a meathead from the neck up. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, why isn't everybody adopting my work ethic? And that, you know what the answer is to that? We're all created unequal, not
Mm,
equal, unequal.
mm, mm.
And I can never be John Sy. John Sy can never be Joe Sinnona or anybody else for that matter. You can't be anyone else. All we can do is just take a little bit of your work ethic and put it into my life, and I'll put it into your life. And that's what all we can hope for right now.
Absolutely. Hey, stay hungry, guys, and keep finding people that gives you that fire, gives you that Energizer Bunny energy. I'm glad that we can do this for each other, Joe. I'm grateful for our friendship that we developed, and I trust you, Joe. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
everything that you do for the industry, for our company, eXp Realty. We truly appreciate you. How can people reach out to you and find out what you do, Joe?
They can either email me at jasonowner@gmail.com, or they can call me and have a conversation because I like to talk on the phone a lot. Just ask my wife, 516-375-8162. And we are North Star at eXp Realty.
Awesome.
I changed the name because I wanted to give everybody their own individuality. I think that if you reach out, and you could also reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram under Sinnona Speaks Seminars. I do a podcast every Sunday night. John, you're welcome to pop in anytime at 8 o'clock
Yes, sir.
Eastern, New York time. We do a lot of mindset methodologies there as well, and we give them hope. We give people hope for the following week, and we give them instructions. And I always end my classes with the saying, learn only the good habits. Because it's
Yes,
only the
guys.
good habits that are going to get you far. There's no tricks in this business, guys. There's nobody selling anything out of a limousine, and there's nothing that you can do to sidestep your success up that ladder. You must start and eat crap. Like you say, John, all the time. You eat shit and you go up that ladder of success. And when you get to that ladder of success, there's another ladder that you have to climb called success. And you
Never
gotta
ends.
keep it. You got to keep it.
One step at a time, guys. Now you can see 35 years later, Joe is still one step at a time. I love you, Joe. Thank you so much for
Likewise,
today. And
my
I'm
friend.
sure we'll have a part two soon. And have me on your coffee talk soon. All right?
Definitely. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thank you, John, for
Love you
the
guys.